Narrator whimsical, exciting tone in a peaceful patch of forest, where stars peeped through treetops and crickets sang lullabies, lived a curious raccoon named Toby. Toby loved shiny buttons, old maps, and stories about faraway places, but he'd never stepped outside his forest. Until one night, woo-woo, as Toby watched the moon rise, he heard something strange. A train whistle. But that couldn't be. The midnight train. That's just a legend. Toby whispering, that train isn't real, but I bet it's a beautiful shiny thing. Now I have to see it. So he crept closer to the sound and peeked between the trees. And right there, glowing golden on the grass, was a track that hadn't been there before. And Toby's eyes fell on an envelope resting on a nearby mossy stone. And inside was a single ticket to the brave at heart. Welcome aboard the midnight train. Be at the crossroads by the light of the full moon to begin your journey. Signed, the whistling conductor. Toby eyes wide. Well, I am brave, I think. And with that, Toby set off down the track. At the crossroads, beneath the watchful gaze of the moon, the train shimmered into view, gleaming silver, wheels humming softly. Toby climbed aboard and gasped. Inside were velvet seats, twinkling stars on the ceiling, and a talking map. Map giggling hello, Toby. Ready for an adventure? I'm here to help you find your courage, stop by stop. And with that, the train began to move. They glided past sleeping animals, over sparkling streams, and through fields of fireflies, until they reached their first stop. There, bathed in moonlight, stood a tall oak, and at its roots, a shimmering portal. Here, Toby met Leela the lemur, a bouncy acrobat who could leap from branch to branch, but was scared of heights. Leela, why are you afraid? You're amazing at jumping. Leela, well, what if I jump too high and can't come down? What if I fall and no one is there to catch me? Toby smiled, noticing her shaking paws. Don't worry, I won't let you fall. Together, they approached the portal, and on the other side, a new challenge awaited. Over a pit of darkness stretched a rope cart just big enough for one. Next, Raj the rabbit hopped into view. Fast on feet, he was known to outrun any predator. But lately, whenever he raced, he'd end up alone. Raj, why don't you run with your friends? Raj, well, what if I run too fast? What if I leave them behind? Toby understood, remembering when he left his forest home for the first time. Stepping onto the cart, Toby held out his hand to Raj. We can cross together. Just hold on tight. And soon they were racing side by side. Onward they sped, passing friendly fireflies and singing crickets until they reached their next stop. Here, the train slowed to a halt, and Toby, Leela, and Raj slid off to find a talking tree with leaves of spun moonlight. Tree, what brings you three travelers to my mystical grove? Toby, we want to continue our journey on the midnight train. The tree rustled thoughtfully. To pass, you must face your fears head on. Beyond my grove lies a path of glowing riddles. Can you solve them all? Toby, Leela, and Raj exchanged glances. They had come so far and faced their fears together. First, They braved ticklish vines that tickled with laughter. Then they followed the melody of a babbling brook to find a hidden bridge. Finally, it led them to a sparkling lake, and on its surface, a riddle floated like a bubble. All around we twist and turn, yet always straight ahead. We lead the way, though we have no head. What are we? They thought hard. Finally, Layla shouted, "Are we paths?" And the bubble popped, confirming their answer. Onward they went, passing playful sprites and rainbow mushrooms until they reached their final stop. Before them loomed a huge gate, sealed by silence. A voice echoed, "To pass." Each heart must speak one true fear. Layla whispers, "I'm scared I'll fall, and no one will catch me." Raj, "I'm afraid I'll run too fast and leave others behind." Toby, quiet but determined, stepped forward. "I'm scared I'm not really brave." As he spoke, the gate began to glow, and the voice boomed once more. "Bravery is being scared and going anyway." And with that, the gate swung open, revealing a tunnel of shimmering light. The train waited as Toby, Layla, and Raj walked through the opening. It twirled and shimmered as if celebrating their arrival. They raced through fields of dancing stars and across rivers of moonlight until they reached their final destination. Toby, Layla, and Raj tumbled out, laughing and breathless. And there it was. A magical world bathed in starlight. They'd arrived at the Wissing station. Toby stared in. "Wonder, this place is magical. How can I ever thank you?" The Wissing conductor smiled. "By spreading kindness and believing in the journey, you've moved the midnight train forward." And Toby knew he'd never forget this journey. Back in his own world, Toby woke up beneath the oak tree, sunlight dappling through the leaves. He wasn't sure if it had been a dream, but something had changed. He felt different. He took a deep breath, feeling the wind in his fur. He looked around, noticing the world with new eyes. Everything seemed brighter, more alive. He wanted to explore, to see what else was out there. And suddenly, he saw it, a glimmer on a leaf. A tiny golden ticket. Toby carefully unfolded it to the brave at heart. "Welcome aboard the midnight train. Be at the crossroads by the light of the half-moon to begin your journey." Signed, the Wissing conductor. Toby smiled. Tonight, he'd take the midnight train again, this time with someone special. And so he set off, his heart full of magic and adventure. Because sometimes the greatest journeys aren't about the destination, but about the friends we make along the way. The end.